The department store reality around me returned. My styrofoam coffee was cold. Time to walk home. No money to spend anyway. I tried to pass the time by moving my feet in a steady rhythm, paying close attention to the sound of my old shoes on the wet pavement. 1, 2, big step for the curb, 3, 4, I muttered, humming to myself, and trying hard not to pay attention to the dismal late afternoon surroundings. Dirty, stunted city trees twisted upward like old brooms. The light was failing. There was nothing to think of but work, the customers, work, the TV set at night, work, Lenore. What did you think of me at first? I asked her, shuffling my hands through the clutter of toiletries and stuff on her dresser top. She was wearing a green blouse and a red skirt, and she was pulling on dark stockings. I opened the scalp cream jar, smelling it, waiting for her to sit up so I could fix her hair. I thought you were a nice girl, that's all. How come, honey? I was afraid of Negroes, I whispered softly, barely able to breathe out the silly words. What? She sat bolt upright, turning to look at me in amazement. Girl, you nuts? None of them ever treated me very nice, I explained. And that scared you? Well, they just look at you like, well, I just felt inferior. I guess. Maybe I was guilty for something. Guilty for what? I don't know. I just heard black people were mad for not being treated right. I don't know. I felt guilty. I get that way about people. I don't know why. I just care so much sometimes. I couldn't explain it to her. I didn't understand it myself. Honey, you care too much. You make things too complicated for yourself. The stockings were on, but I knew what was beneath them. The skin of her legs was tight, smooth, and firm. But her looks, her legs, made me start to wonder once again. I wondered about her boyfriends. She had a lot of them. Too complicated? But wait, I'm just a waitress, I thought. It was time for the scalp treatment. This was the only time I liked or even wanted to touch Lenore. Her hair wasn't dry and frizzy as I had imagined it would be, but soft and sleek. The cream made it glossy and thick. Sometimes when in public, I caught a jealous eye glancing at her lovely wild mane, and I felt proud. I knew its beauty was partially due to my morning attentions. Who was your roommate before me? I asked. A very nice person, someone I think you would have liked. A girl? White, I wondered to myself. Hell yes. You think I'd live with a man? Honey, as much as I love them, I just can't stand them breathing down my neck all day and night. Jesus, could you imagine what it'd be like if my Jim was to move in here? Yeah, I guess you're right, I replied. His presence would disturb the equilibrium, the peace and privacy of this place. Jim was a big, rowdy man. I'd seen him drive up to our place recklessly in his huge car, pillows against the back window. Lenore would hop in and that car would screech them both away, right into traffic, without his even looking or slowing down. I felt the same as Lenore about living with men. Always I had this horny feeling for them, somewhere deep inside me. But looking at all the male customers at Samson's, listening to their laughter and crude propositions as I bent over to clean up their messiness, live with any of them? See them every day? No. I only wanted men late at night, and even then, only briefly. If only they'd stay away, just coming around when I wanted them. I had never had a real boyfriend. Lenore got up, glancing at herself in the mirror. She was not vain, but sometimes I saw her smile at her pretty hair. Thanks, honey, she called. throwing on her coat. "Sorry about the dirty dishes I left from my eggs. If you leave them, I'll get around to it later." "No, it's okay," I assured her. "I don't mind. I'll do them." It was true. I didn't mind at all. Washing up her things sort of made me feel important. I couldn't quite place it, but that feeling was there, and I liked it. "Catch you later," came her familiar farewell as she left for work. I had 2 hours before my shift began. My uniform was clean, and everything but the dishes was done. I liked this little bit of time I had every day the best, next to the scalp cream routine. Since I'd moved in with her, it seemed I was never bored. When she was home, we spent a lot of time talking. No one had ever been so nice to me. She was always giving me new things to think about. I even read a few of the books she'd recommended. "Working in a library," she once explained, "has taught me much more than I think college would have. I never did much reading before I got my job, but there was nothing to do on lunch breaks, and before I knew it, it was a habit." She smiled proudly at her own book collection. "I've read all them books. They've gotten me through some real bad times, I tell you." I sat at her feet, nodding. She was so easy to understand. The little apartment was clean and comfortable. All we needed was a fireplace, and then I guess it would have been about perfect. She looked at me smiling, a moist fire in her eyes. "'Cause, honey, I was so low I damn near died of sadness. But them books told me the truth about things, honey. Life is good. People deep inside are very beautiful things. Yes, they are. Just remember my words next time you're alone and down. Life is good."